enjoyed this trip away with Alternatives. It is, I suppose it's groundbreaking what they're seeing over here, and a real sense of community within the schools, lots of thoughts, lots of things to process, lots of ways to kind of take back to our school and kind of implement them, but a real sense of community with the children, real open, honest conversations, great sense of trust and courage from those, I suppose, who decided to make this big change.
I'm here today at Carr Manor Community School in Leeds in England, learning about how they're embedding restorative practices in their education programmes. The biggest takeaway for me so far has undoubtedly been the person-centred approach they take and how they're really preparing their young people for life and adulthood long after their time here at Carr Manor is finished.
Coming to Carr Manor has been absolutely amazing because it has allowed me to see the importance of relationships, which we all know, but it allows me to take that a little bit further, to see restorative practice and to see how that works at every level. So it's not just about the kids and how they are having restorative practitioners amongst themselves, or how the teachers are working with them, but it's even thinking about the relationships and dynamics between the staff. For me, one of the most fascinating things is the fact that this has the most phenomenal collegiate atmosphere, where every member of staff, not just the teaching staff, but all the support staff, all the administrative, clerical, all the support staff are involved in restorative practice, and they all have that co-ownership and that responsibility and that commitment to the young people.
I suppose today I've really been inspired by the amount of work that the school, Carr Manor, Wetherby High School have implemented in terms of making restorative practices happen in the school. The amount of logistics and infrastructure that they've had to think through and implement and create to allow restorative practice to happen. It doesn't just happen overnight, it's a bit of a marathon.
One of the things that I'm really going to take back to school with me is really the focus on relationship building. Yes, the academic side is super important, but there's so much work that needs to go into relationships in order to get our kids to a place where they feel safe and able to learn. So I'm really going to take that back to school and try and embed that into our practice in school.
I'm at Carr Manor now today and yesterday, so what I have got out of this trip has to notice and see how non-teaching staff are part of the inclusion team and how they work closely with all pupils within the school. It has been a great experience for me, and I hope others could get the experience that I have had today.
One of my main takeaways on my visit to Carr Manor will be the idea of the check-in, check-up and check-out circles at the start, middle and end of the week. I think it's something really useful that the kids have really got a lot of benefit from, and something easy that can be implemented in some of our schools back home.
I've just been absolutely wowed and inspired by my visit to Carr Manor, and it's just been amazing to really feel that sense of community and family within the school. And that's something that I'm going to bring home and try and embed within Integrated College Glengormley.
I've been really impressed by the pupil voice that we've heard in our two-day trip, and also by the restorative practice that's being utilised by the young people and the staff to ensure that youngsters stay in the classroom to learn, but also become leaders of the future.
What I'm taking away from our weekend away at Carr Manor is the restorative practice that is really embedded in the children, and how the children and young people benefit from all of the restorative practices that are really embedded into that school.
What I took from our trip away with Alternatives over the last 2 days was the work that young people have within the school in terms of delivering restorative practice themselves, that they're able to go out to share their knowledge, their expertise, and want to go and help others within their community and within their school. So that is something that I'd like to bring back to Craigavon Senior High and empower pupils to help each other within the.
I think the biggest thing I'm going away with is how well you can disseminate that feeling of inclusivity for everybody across your school, from the teaching staff in the morning right through the children, which for me really links with the nurture principles and is something that I am trying to embed in our school. So
something that has stood out for me over the whole trip is the positive mindset that these young people have, and also the relationships that they have with their teachers.
And over the past 2 days, it was just the confidence in the young people in Carr Manor that really just blew me away, from primary right through to the secondary phase. How confident and how articulated they are with all their words, and how confident they are talking to adults. It was just, that's one thing that has absolutely stuck in my head from this trip.
What I'm taking away from the trip is how the whole community has embraced restorative practice, and it comes from school right out into community, and everybody supports each other.
The Carr Manor trip was fascinating to actually look at how they can use it as a communication tool, filtering right through from the principal right down to new teachers, but also the fact that they use the young people involved in the school that deliver restorative practices. It's fascinating to actually observe.
The trip with Alternatives to Carr Manor has been phenomenal, and it's been a real opening of my mind as to what can be achieved through restorative practice. Seeing children articulate and coherently share their journey through restorative practice has not only been inspiring but also been igniting my passion for what we can achieve back in Belfast. I think with creative thinking and an open attitude and having a lot of people on board to buy into the vision, we can really make a difference for our children in the day and daily in school life. So we're really excited and inspired to see what we can make happen on the ground, and without this trip that wouldn't have happened.